Hi, my friend, it's Pat Sloan here. Today is a wonderful day to celebrate a midnight moon. So we're going to talk about midnight moon, and also we're going to talk about bees a little bit, a UFO, and maybe some goodies we're going to get in there. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about bees. It is a day to celebrate the honeybee. And I would love to see quilts of yours where you have bees on it, bee fabric, bee applique, bee piece bees. It would be so much fun to see your quilts with bees. And I'm going to show you one of mine. So the quilt I'm going to show you is probably besides Oh My Stars, it's one of my most made quilts because I taught this. It's called Mama's Garden. I taught Mama's Garden all over the country for 20 years. And many of you have made this. So on Mama's Garden is a bee's cap. See, this is there with the, whoops, let me hit the mic, with the tulip and the little bees. So all of this. Now, a bee's cap, S-K-E-P, skep, is different than a beehive. A beehive is what the bees go build themselves to live in. A bee's cap is something that gardeners put into their gardens on the ground. It was more of a, maybe a little bit more of a dome shaped rather than the oblong. And they would put it in the garden to attract the bees because they thought it was a beehive. And sometimes, and they would go in there and live. So it ultimately became kind of the same thing. But that was to get the bees to come and pollinate their gardens. And it was used very much in colonial times. And because I live on the East Coast, it's very much a part of any place you go that's colonial that has gardens. In colonial gardens, they're always there. You can look on gardening sites and you can find them. Now, when I taught this class, we did a lot of work on color and doing things that made that quilt sort of jump out into a totally different colorway. So here's my second class sample, which has yet to have the final border on it. It's only a top because it was easier to transport and talk about certain factors of construction while I was teaching. But here is my second Mama's Garden, done with turquoises and oranges and little bits of yellow. So I love this one equally much. Look at my bees. Look at their body. See the bee body, that zebra fabric? That was a friend of mine when I was making this sample years and years ago. I believe it was Roberta who sent that to me. She's like, your bees need to be this fabric. And I'm like, yes, they do. So that is a digital pattern you can get in my digital store. I'll put the link down below. You can just go to any of my website pages at the top. It says shop or store, and you can go there to my digital patterns. Yes. Okay, so we have a UFO. Oh, first. Oh, I've got this is the extra large ballpark, baseball style t-shirt. Isn't this yummy? Yes, for the Sloan Zone. And to remind you that we have the new thermal cups with the see you online. And these are the new things in case you missed them. We've got stickers. I need to pick one. Which sticker should I put on my sewing machine? I think right on the end, I'm going to put one of these. I don't know which one. Maybe I had to put the Sloan Zone, one of those two. Although the strawberry, you know me and strawberries. And then we have the zippy bag, which has a nice zipper pull on it. It's not one of those little tiny ones that's hard to pull. So it's got like a gusset so that you can get a nice amount in there and open it. It's going to see you online on the back. All right. Just be sure that you know that I have these now. Just checking. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at my UFO. And let's go over first and see what I have to pick from. So let's go down the hall here because I have now on the shelf here all of the quilts that need binding. So I've pulled them out of the other basket in the other room that I told you about. There's a couple of things here, these ones that need to be quilted or go to charity for quilting. These two are finished because this is the giveaway quilt when we hit 85,000, which is less than 2,000 people now. So I've got bindings, and then of course the red zinger, which is on loan, so that doesn't need binding, of course. But I said I would do this one. So what we're going to do is see about getting it ready, because okay, you can't actually put the binding on unless you bring it in the studio. So here we go. So let me get it out. This is, I think it's titled By the Sea. I will put the link to it. It's by Verna, and she does these awesome applique, and I need to pick a binding for this one. So originally, I'm going to stick it up here on the wall. I've got the ladder out. See, I brought the ladder in. I'm going to stick it up. Originally, I thought I would do this inner stripe, and I thought I saved it somewhere. I have not seen it, so I don't know if I did or not. But I'm thinking I don't really want that anyways. I think I want either an orange or a teal binding on it. But let me put it up on the wall, and then I'll take the other camera and I'll scan the blocks so that you can take a look at them. So give me a second. A couple things about this quilt. I did hand applique it as I did trips. I also really wanted to use this Heather Ross fabric of the mermaids, but I did not have that fabric when I started the middle. So the middle was done without that fabric having been published. So I had to make it work afterwards. And I think it works pretty good by using the orange cornerstones. Yeah, so let me just show you a little bit. There may have been some creative licensing along the way with a few blocks, but there's the beach bag. And what I did is I took this black and used it in a couple of spots, black. And you've seen me do this before now with the Be My Neighbor and a few other things. When you bring that color around, it really helps sort of unify your quilt. I think the dolphin is one of my favorites. Shelley Pagnelli quilted this for me, and she does free motion quilting. You know, she doesn't use a computer at all, and so she just, you know, freehands everything and sort of customized it to the blocks. There's some embellishments, which, oh my goodness, I forgot this was on here. This and this. So Shelley just dealt with it. She worked around it. She's a pro extraordinaire. Okay. The drink glass. Oh my goodness, one of my favorites. And at the time, this crab was super hard for me because it had a bunch of little pieces. And really, when I look at it now, it's like they're not that little. What was I thinking? But at the time, I thought, oh my gosh, there's so many little pieces. And really, there aren't. But I did at the time think that. This is Rick Rack. So you see Shelley quilted it down. Isn't that cool? You could do that free motion quilting. Little bitty fishes, and I changed whatever goes here. I changed to say gone to the beach. So this is like a really happy quilt for me, and I'm really, really excited to have it done and have Shelley's work on it. Look at the clouds she put in there, the sky, and then like the inner tube has the water, like you just threw it in the water. And look at the glasses, one of my favorite, another one of my favorites. Now I thought I had this. Did I say that already? I thought I had this, but I don't. So I'm going to pick, I believe, an orange. I'm going to go through here. This is probably, first I thought maybe this, but it's much too coral. And when you look here, everything really is orange. There's, you know, this is orange. So I am going to look in here. I have a polka dot, so that might be a good one. That might be a good one. But the other thing I have would be a stripe. So, and it's a black and white stripe. So let's just take a look at that. Hold on. Here it is. I am going to unfurl it and stick it up here. Let's see. And then what I'll do is I'll pull back with the camera and let's see. You know what? You just cannot go wrong with a black and white stripe. I think it could go on anything. All right. That's it. Done deal. Love it. Well, I'm not sure that black and white stripe is it. I think it would be fine if I'd used a different inner border, but I really don't care for it with that other stripe border. So I'm thinking I need a black and white dot. This is the dot from Be My Neighbor, which is a little too big. And I looked in my black and white bin and shock. I am in shock. There is very few dots, and they're just like little pieces like this. You know, and that's too small a dot. So I am going to have to order a black and white dot binding for that, because I do think that that is it. But how in the world, I mean, I keep thinking, do I have some black and white in another bin? I'm sure that I had some other scale of black and white besides this one for the Be My Neighbor. But that will be good, because then it will mimic the what's in the hats and the other things. So that'll be good. So we will get the royal we. I will order that. Oh my goodness, hold on. Okay, a few other things before we talk about midnight moon. First, I want to thank everybody for sharing their sewing tables. You know, so I asked, would you share your sewing tables? A few of you got, you kind of missed the assignment and you shared like lots of other stuff, which of course was very fun. But we were trying to focus on just your table because I wanted people to see what real life was like. And I believe a few of you may have cleaned up that table before you showed it to us. And that day I showed you mine. This is what it looked like because it was right after I had done some filming. And well, honestly, it's always got all kinds of stuff on it. The camera equipment is always on my table because I film every day, or so I just can't put it away. So I really appreciate sharing of things that were not so tidy, because most of us, our tables are only tidy for a few minutes or a day or so, and then we're working again. And it's a workspace, so it's always going to have things going on. And it was wonderful and marvelous to see the different ways that you approach having a table and space, from your kitchen table to one of the ladies shared her mom in a small apartment where she cuts on the kitchen cabinets, the kitchen counters, and now, she used to have a studio, but she's downsized. She was like 94, I think. So, so she cuts in the kitchen. So everything from that to a full-blown studio that's outside the home, like a building, a she shed. There was the whole range, and I appreciate seeing all of it because I personally work in a smaller space. I have the door to the outside, the door to the kitchen. My auxiliary room is what used to be the dining room, so we don't have a dining room to use right now because the business is in this room and that room, and that's it in the house. It's pretty much the two rooms anymore. We got it down to 2 rooms of the house, but I don't have a big house, so I have to have everything up here. I don't have long arms and all those kind of things either. So it's real life. Really appreciate seeing those that you shared. Okay, the other thing that I did when I was taking a break from filming for a few days was to work on my gallery. And I got the gallery all updated, even had the shark from yesterday. Somebody said Sheldon Shark, Sheldon the Shark. I kind of liked Sheldon. I don't know, it sounds kind of a geeky name for a shark. So he's on there, and everything's on there. So the link to my gallery is here. It's also at the top navigation bar of all of my websites, which is the same navigation bar. Anytime you go to my websites, that top nav bar takes you to all the main places, including my gallery. All right, let me do a mail call too. I have a mail call. I was actually waiting for the mail before I filmed this because it should have come and it didn't. I don't know. No mail. No mail. The flag's still up. There's something that has to go out and it hasn't been picked up yet. So I have one mail call, and this is from Kathy in South Carolina. And Kathy sent me this really pretty card. Looks like patchwork, right? Isn't that wonderful? And so I just love that you all send me wonderful notes in your cards, and I read them all, and Greg reads them, and it's just so, so sweet. So she sent me a bunch of fun goodies that she'd wrapped in. She wrapped it all in this beautiful blue and white. That's summer blue. There it is. That's summer blue. And it's a dot. And then she used a cloth bows. So pretty. So I have... She sent me some happy face patches. I love happy face. They're so cute. And some turquoise dots and flowers. There's some flowers. So those are going up here to go and work on the things. A beautiful little mini memo pad. I love little notepads. So this is awesome. Some really nice wipes for my glasses. Yeah, I'm always up for trying something for my glasses that I've not tried before. And a yummy Starbucks card. So thank you so much. Mwah. You are so, so very sweet to think of me. All right, let's talk about Midnight Moon. What I want to do first is show you the small blocks and tell you what I have left to get it done. And then I think I will put them up on the wall. Yeah, okay, let's do that. Well, this has been some project. My friend Lisa Alexander, who is one of the people organizing and running this, So she wrote me the other day and she goes, "You're doing so good on getting them, staying and, you know, up on top of them, getting them done." I'm like, "Oh my God, Lisa, this is kicking my butt." That's like kicking my butt. I know a few of you have been sewing along with me and you have done fantastic keeping up. It's a lot. It's a big project. It's a lot, but it has been so much fun. It has been like a challenge and an interesting one for me because I really love the final quilt done with the Halloween fabrics. So let's take a look at my mini blocks with the extra special borders or sashings. I tend to call them sashings. I think they might be calling them borders. Either way, this is the block and this is the stuff that's not a block. And so I think there's 6 in each setting, and I have 3 of the 4 settings done. With here is the last 6 minis that need the extra special sashing, and the extra special sashing for that one is with just some checkerboard. So that's pretty easy. I left that one till last because I'm a very smart person and I would leave the one that has the least amount of work to the last. And I did the most amount of work first, and then I did this one and then this one, which are about the equal amount of work. So here they are in groupings. And what the concept was that all of the area around it, whether you call it border or sashing, frame for it, was the same background fabric. And so here's one, okay, here's one with the big dot. Well, here's one with like this hatching, and then here's one with like the big dot. And so, yeah, very good. And then these guys I have to do. So I'm cutting them today and getting those ready. And then what I'm going to do is I've been dying to see them on the wall in the order that they should be, plus the 3 bonuses, because I didn't do some of them, which will then, a bonus block will go in their place. And so I am going to put everything up on this wall, kind of where they're supposed to be, including these that don't have their frames yet. And then we'll take a look at it with the other camera, so we can kind of see, I can kind of pan through it straight on. But before I go, I want to show you one other thing out there. A few of you were asking about panels for, you know, to get ready for October. If you wanted to do a panel for breast cancer month, this panel is still out there. I got to stand way back. Okay, this panel is still available with the pink ribbon and the patchwork. And I think it would be super cute doing, like, you could just get some fabric to do a border, or you could do the checkerboard, like your pink and white squares. So I just wanted to show you that one because there were still a few of these left. And the link is in the description box below. Okay, I'm gonna go put them on the wall and I'll meet you over there. Exciting! Woohoo, look at this. That took a little while to get them up there. Once I got probably half of them done, it went a little bit faster. But the first half, it was like searching around for the blocks. And of course, they all look really similar in that fabric. So, but it went up. Now, of course, you know, there's more to do. But this is the first I've seen them in placement. So let's take a look straight on. Look at this. Look, look, look. Oh my goodness. So I have... see, it's too big without it being sewn, so I've got a block under there and a block there to kind of tell you where things are. But look at this. Now there's some bonus. There's the pumpkin, the bat, and the candy corn. So I might move those around. I'll have to see once I get all the sashings around each of the blocks. I might move those 3 a little bit. You know, put something in the middle more rather than on the side. It just happened to be the ones I was replacing were all out on the edge, and I didn't realize that, but that's okay. Ah, they look so good. You know, still have quite a bit of sashing to do. I had hoped to do this by the end of the month, but we will see. We will see. It is the 20th of August. That gives me what, like 11 days. Okay, countdown. I am in love with this quilt. So fun. Such a great fun challenge, and it's going to look different. It'll get tighter once all the sashing's there, and of course once they're sewn together, it'll really tighten up. I will not put a border on it. I'll probably just do maybe a if I have enough of this polka dot, this little speckle, I'll probably just do like a 1.5 inch strip all the way around to finish that off. But yeah, it is awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so today, to celebrate bees, did I tell you we have a few neighbors over, and we have lots of honeybees that fly around. So here is my mama's garden with my bees. And I want to see any of your quilts with bees on it. And if you're doing Midnight Moon with me, Kathy, I'm looking at you. And Suzanne, you too. I think Kathy's keeping up with me. So there we go. I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.